We will see. It's not only Levy, they buy a lot of players. I do not know how. It's the only club in the world that has no money but who could buy every player. It's kind of weird and kind of crazy for me, but at the end they find solutions. I don't know how, but they find one. And I think they have a better team than last season. First of all, I'm very happy that we got Matthijs. It's one of the most talented central defenders in the world. He's still young. Had a great career so far. So at the end, it's a really good sign for us, for Bayern Munich, and also for the Bundesliga that we could get him for the new season. He's very good in defending. He's addicted to defend their own goal. So that's the most important topic for a central defender. That he loves to defend our goal. He wants to avoid goals. He's very good in defending forward into the midfield. So it's important when our forwards keep on pushing. We try to attack the opponent's build-up game, and we have central defenders who have the capability to attack into the midfield. And he has very good timing in attacking situations into the midfield to have ball-winning moments. So it's so important. We also miss Robert Lewandowski, who can score 40 goals, and Matthijs is also important for offensive set pieces. He's brilliant with his head. I hope he could score as well 7-8 goals. So we have to compensate that we miss probably 40 goals next season. And we have a lot of players who can score goals, but we also need defending players who can score goals. And Matthijs also has the capability to do this. So at the end, he's also a brilliant character. He could lead a defense row. So it's important for us that we have some players who can coach all the other players who have a good mentality. And he's kind of a leader. So I hope get used to his teammates as soon as possible. Perhaps he could play some minutes tomorrow in the evening as well. And then we're happy that we have him in our team. But the first time we get in touch, he told me he only want to go to Bayern Munich. The same when I talked to Sadio. So a really good feeling from the beginning. And now this evening he will be here. Probably if you could find a really good number 9, it's always good to have one in your team, but the transfer market is not that easy when you talk about forwards. Most of the time they are very expensive, and there are not a lot of forwards who could score 40 goals in Europe. There are only two teams, Bayern the last couple of seasons and Real Madrid, who are 2 strikers who can score almost 40 goals. All the other teams, when we talk about Liverpool, Chelsea, Dortmund now, Haaland is one of the players who could score 40 goals as well. But there are not a lot of teams who have central forward who could score that many goals. So at the end, I think there could be or there will be some solutions to compensate that. I think we have a lot of players who could play forward, and I think it's not that easy to defend it. They can move quickly between the defense lines of the opponents, between the midfield and the defense line, so it's not that easy to fix them. It's not that easy to get man-on-man coverage against our forwards. So I think our movement will be very dangerous for the opponent's goal, and I'm looking forward to see the new Bayern Munich after Levy. I think, as I mentioned, we have a lot of players. When we talk about our forwards, we have 6-7 players who can score goals. When you have a forward like Robert in your team, your style is always typical. You do a bit more crosses because you know that there's a striker who could finish with his head, who could finish with his feet, with both feet. So at the end, the way of playing, your style will be a bit different in the future. I think it's a challenging situation at the moment. That's normal because it's kind of a new Bayern Munich. Levy was here for 8 years, and he scored most of the time 30, 40 goals. So at the end, it's kind of new Bayern Munich, but it's a challenging moment. But it's always a competition, and I love challenging moments. It's good for Brazzo. It's good for my team, for my coaching staff. Try to solve these situations, to be creative, find new solutions, find perhaps new formations, find new movements. But at the end, when you prepare games, when you play against Bayern Munich, you know that you try to solve the situation with Levy, and when you get a good man-on-man coverage against Levy, it was a bit easier to play against Bayern Munich. Now it's not that easy to find the best solution when I talk about the opponents to defend us, because there's no Levy at all. So at the end, I think it's challenging, but yeah, do not be afraid. We will have a good solution for the future. Yeah, we will see what happened with the transfers. Transfer market is still open a few weeks, so at the end, I think Barca did a brilliant job so far, and I probably think that he will do a brilliant job until the end of the transfer market. These are two players who are interesting, and yeah, we will see what will happen. Leon is very sad. I think it was a hard information on Sunday. He only wanted to go a few rounds jogging, and then the doctor said we have to do a picture of your knee, and then it was not. He's not that happy. I'm not that happy. It's hard for him because get injured in the last couple of seasons a lot of times. So at the end, it's hard for him. But now I hope he will be back as soon as possible. A very important player, and the first couple of 2 weeks were very good of Leon. So that's sad. But at the end, sometimes in soccer it's like that. He will be fit again, and he will be a brilliant player as well when we talk about the future. It's only 4-5 weeks, and then he will be back. Yeah, King is one of the most important players for us because he has the capability to solve any one-on-one situations on the pitch. Doesn't matter if you play on the right wing or left wing. Probably he liked the left wing a bit more than the right wing, but when you watch the games in the national team for France, he always play the right joker position. So perhaps it's could also be a good solution for us as well. He's brilliant in crossing, but he's also brilliant in solving one-on-one situations. He had a good finishing moments last season. I think he could score more goals in the future as well, because there are a lot of situations when he had good finishing situations, but he could score a bit more goals, could have a bit more assists in the new season because it's important. As I mentioned, we miss Robert next season, and we do not have the classical central forward, so we need players around like Lee, like Serge, like King, like Thomas, like Jamal, Sadio, who could score goals. And King is one of the best players in Europe when you talk about the wingers, and he could play both wings. So at the end, he's a brilliant character as well. He's important for our French connection in the team. He's a good connector between the German players and the French players. He talks German very well, so he's also a big and important part in the dressing room, not only on the pitch. And I hope he could play a better season like the last one. The last one was brilliant as well, but I'm looking forward for the new season as well.
Second.